Hi, welcome back. This is Nick Agriam. We'll be discussing difference between relations and functions, as I promised in my previous video. Relations, as we said, we defined relations in my previous video. It says a relation is any set of points which connect two variables. There is no limit as long as it is connect two variables. However, function is a relation which no two different ordered pairs have the same coordinate or first component. Those two we're going to use as our basis in differentiating relations from functions, or vice versa. For example, we have our x here, we have our x here, x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3. And then we have y here. We have y sub 1, y sub 2, and y sub 3. If x sub 1 connects to y sub 1, and x sub 2 connects to y sub 2, and x sub 3 connects to y sub 3, and so on, x sub n connects to y sub n, then we have what we call one-to-one relations. One-to-one relation. And then if we have, let's say, still here, x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3, and then we have y sub 1, y sub 2, y sub 3. And then we have x sub 1, and x sub 2 goes to y sub 1, and then x sub 2 and x sub 3 goes to y sub 2, and then y sub 3 and y sub 1 goes to y sub 3, and so on. This is what we call many to one relations. The last one is we have x, and then we have y. If we have x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, x sub 4, we'll say, and then we have y sub 1, y sub 2, y sub 3, y sub 4. As we say, we have x sub 1, and x sub 1 have two y's, y sub 1 and y sub 2, and x sub 2 have two y's also, y sub 1 and y sub 3, and x sub 3 have y sub 2 and y sub 4, as we can see. This relation is one to many relations. I will give you now some graph of this so that you can see one-to-one. We will start with one-to-one. Here is a graph of a one-to-one function. Why is it one-to-one? All linear functions are one-to-one. They always look like this. Why it is one-to-one? Because if I'm going to put a point here now, for example, there, as you can see, I have just one value of x and one value of y. As of now, it's 1.05 and 1.16. Maybe I need to be very specific. That one now. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 1, and 1. And then if I will get some more there, as you can see, you have 0 and -2. So at all the points on the line, on the green line that you can see, there is always one x and one y. I will try more. There you go. That's -1 and -5. And there you go, that's 2 and 4. So as you can see now, it is always like that. But if I can give you more, I will remove that, and I will remove all my points so that you will not be... This one is a graph also. It is a function, a natural logarithmic function. It is also one-to-one. So if I'm going to give you a pointer, there is my point, that is 1, 0. And if I will give you a pointer, that is 7.42 and 2. As you can see, there is always one x and one y. What if I'm going back to my... What if I'm going to give you many to one? That means just one value of... I gave you one. This is one too many. I gave you the same here. Sorry, I didn't see that. This is one too many. I will give you another for one too many. Sorry for that. I'm going to remove this, all of this. I'm going to give you many to one. X sub 1, X sub 2, X sub 3, and then Y sub 1, Y sub 2, Y sub 3. We will many to one. That means I have X sub 1 there and X sub 2 there with just one value of Y. And then we have X sub 3 maybe and X sub 1. I have just one value. How can we represent that in our graph? Let's see. Many to one. Maybe I can find something. I didn't put some. I will write it here. Here, as you can see, it is a graph of... Sorry for that. It is a graph for a second degree, or a quadratic function. As you can see here, many x. For example, I have pointer and pointer. I have two x's but the same y, as our mapping says. I have two x's and one y. That is many to one. And I will give you some more about this. One-to-one. This is also one-to-one. For every point here, you can see, for example, that point and that point. You can see that for every x, there is one y. But sometimes it is also sorry for that. This supposedly relations are also represented by what I have written here, one-to-many relations. That means I have one x, I have two y. For example, if I'm going to put that point and that point, I have just one. X is equal to 2, but I have one. Y is positive 2 and negative 2. As you can see here, this is one too many points, too many y relation. And it is also the same if I will give you another. That one. I will remove the point. This one, for example, for the value of x. Sorry. For the value of x, for example, I have the value of x, which is 3. Then I have there, and I have another. Sorry for that. That is not supposed to be there. It should be there. And the value of y there is 4 and negative 4. This kind of relations, I will go back here. This kind of relations, this one-to-one relation, is also a function. Many-to-one relation is not a function. One-to-many this is a function also. It is a function. What? And this is not a function. How could we know if it is not a function or it is a function? I will go back to the graph here. I will remove everything first. There is what we call in testing. Now I have this one. There is what we call a testing. If a line, if a function, or if a relation is a function, is also a function. We call it vertical testing. So if I will draw a line here, if I will draw a line, and if I will pass only the function once, sorry, there. There. If I can pass only once, then it is a function. It is a function. And then this one, and this one also is a one-to-one relations. Then you can see that it is, if you try the vertical line, I hope I can find something to write. And if I will put a line there, as you can see, I can only pass the blue line once. Then I have a function. Let's see if I can find some more. This one, maybe. This one, as you can see again, just one with the orange line. Then it is also a function. Let's see if we can find this one. This is what we call one-to-many. If I can try it, as you can see, every time I will pass the x once, then I will pass y twice. For example, in this, I pass it twice there, as you can see, twice there. Twice there, as you can see. So every x, there is always two y's. That is not allowed in a function. Okay, let's have some more example. This one, it is a circle. As you can see, if I will use my testing, you can see for every x there is 2 y's, then it is not a function. And this one, for every x there is 1 y. And this, what is good with here is that I have 2x. That is good here, 2x and 1 y. That is allowed in a function. The definition here, 1-to-1 is also a function. One-to-many is not a function. Many-to-one is also a function. So if it doesn't matter if x is more than 1 with one value of y, then it's alright. That is also a function. Maybe it is not that easy to understand the difference between relation and function. But as I said in my first video, all functions are relations, but not all relations are functions. The reason is that one-to-one relations are function, one-to-many, many-to-one relations are functions, but not one-to-many relation. In my next video, I am thinking if I can give you, I can discuss, if I can discuss the range and the domain and range of a function. So stay tuned, see you around.